Private First Class John Marchese, United States Army, 1942 to 1944. PFC Marchese served in the Barrage Balloon Battalion in California and was then sent to England and France with the 787th Engineers to defend the oil pipelines. John landed on the beaches of Normandy on June 9, 1944, D-Day +3. John retired from working as a menswear manufacturing company owned by his father-in-law and J.C. Penney. Thank you, John, for your service. Private First Class Francis Hunt, United States Army Air Force. Air Force or Air Corps? Okay, so I'm going to have to bone up on that now afterwards. I'm embarrassed. 1942 to 1945, another quiet time in the military. Served in Scotland, England, France, Belgium, Holland, and Germany in the 3rd Mobile Radio Squadron. He saw air combat during campaigns in northern France, Rhineland, Central Europe, and Normandy. He retired from the New York City Parks Department as Director of Management Services and is currently an active member of several vets groups and the Elks Club, and has been a veteran volunteer at the St. Albans VA Hospital. Thank you, sir. Corporal Clifford Doring, United States Marine Corps, 1944 through 1952. In 1945, he was sent to Okinawa during World War II and returned to the States in '46 when he was placed on inactive reserve, after which he was recalled in 1950 to serve a tour of duty in Korea until 1952. He retired and is an active member of veterans groups and has been recognized for his assistance to fellow veterans by Nassau County Executive and the village of Oyster Bay. Corporal Doring, thanks for being here and thanks for your service. Corporal Anthony Esposito, United States Army, 1952 to 1953. Serving in Korea as an infantryman whose job it was to patrol within the combat zone, Corporal Esposito was wounded by shrapnel from an enemy mortar. He's retired from the MTA and is subsequently retired from a company that manufactures subway cars, Bombardier. Yeah, you can pronounce it better than I can. Thank you for being here, Corporal Esposito. Quartermaster, 2nd Class Daniel Kelly, United States Navy, 1954 through 1958. Quartermaster Kelly served on the destroyer USS Eversole, whose task it was to safeguard the Chinese nationals in what was then Formosa as a part of the 7th Fleet. He was also responsible for detecting and chasing Russian submarines during the Cold War. He rescued all aboard a ship that had run aground near Samoa on his final cruise. Daniel was retired from a Calls and Red Book where he had been the controller. Quartermaster, thanks for being here tonight. Specialist Peter Petito, Jr., United States Army, 1965 through 1967. Specialist Petito started his military career at Fort Riley, Kansas, in 1966, and then was sent to Bearcat Base Camp attached to the engineering group and was in Vietnam until 1967, in November of 1967. He's currently working in the financial world, and Peter has worked in New Jersey and Manhattan. His areas of expertise are data processing and home banking networks. Sir, thanks for being here. this time. All right, Corporal Robert Peaker, United States Marine Corps, 2007 through 2011. Served in the Helmand Province of Afghanistan from April 2010 through November 2010, and is currently serving in the National Guard and is a professional truck driver. Semper Fi, Marine. Specialist Robert Regent, United States Army. Originally 2001 through 2000, you can explain this to me later, 2001 through 2005 and recalled in 2009. Deployed to Iraq, followed by a tour in Afghanistan. A rifleman, an M203 gunner, which in case you don't know is a grenade launcher. He gets in close and delivers hate and discontent to the bad guys. And an M249 machine gunner and a team leader. He's currently a 9-year member of the New York City Police Department. Thanks for being here. Sergeant Christopher Goldsmith, United States Army. Whoa. 2003 through 2007. Sergeant Goldsmith served with the 3rd Infantry Division and deployed to Iraq as a forward observer. You're Arty guy originally? Hurrah. Currently attending Nassau Community College and is an honor student and president of the Student Veterans Club of Nassau Community College. It gets better. The Student Veterans Club at Nassau Community College was recently successful in lobbying Congress to pass legislation that veterans with PTSD qualify for the benefits they so truly deserve. So thank you so much. Sergeant Horace Allen, United States Marine Corps. You met his sister earlier, I believe, from the Army. It's got to be an interesting Thanksgiving dinner. 2003 through 2011, Sergeant Allen worked in the 6th Communications Battalion and was assigned to duty as Communication Chief at Camp Fallujah, Iraq. He's currently employed as a project manager, developing commercial lighting and control systems. And of course, as we said earlier, his sister's here as well. So thanks for being here, Marine.
Okay. Could you please honor us by placing this medal on Mr. Colonel O'Leary for me, please?
That's a great thing. Colonel, you make us all look good. St. Agnes and Penn State and the Marine Corps. God bless you. Thank you for all you've done for us. And this is what we are. This is it. Thank you so much. You did us all extraordinarily well. Thank you.
Richard Bowden. You get this right this time? Outstanding. United States Navy, 1966 through 1970. Petty Officer 3rd Class Bowden was a plane captain on the USS America, which circled the world. In 1969, he was assigned to the USS Coral Sea, and their tour included the Gulf of Tonkin on a bombing mission. He retired from 30 years at KLM Airlines at JFK Airport and is currently working as a code enforcement officer for the town of Hempstead. Petty Officer, thanks for being here. I have a Marine next in line. I have that right? Corporal Peter Marino, United States Marine Corps, 1966 through 1968. He started out at Camp Pendleton, California, followed by a 6-month tour to the Mediterranean. Not bad, right? 1967, he deployed to Vietnam for 7 months and participated in multiple firefights, and of course, daily patrols. He retired from Con Edison after working for 43 years as an electrical designer. Thanks for being here, Marine. Yet. Sergeant Jose Arufat, is that correct? You're right. United States Army, 1967 through 1969. Jose fought in Vietnam, including Phu Vai, and help me out with this one, because that, GLA, earning an Armor Specialist classification. He's retired from the United States Post Office after 30 years. So thanks for being here. This one's easy because I met him in the lobby. Corporal Dominic Yezzo, United States Army. He was attached to the G5, okay, I got it now. G5 Civil Affairs Psychological Operations Unit of the 1st Air Cavalry Division. He was wounded by shrapnel from a hand grenade. Dominic is currently an attorney in Garden City, an administrative law judge in New York City, and actively involved in Nassau Community College for 35 years. He's authored a book entitled A GI's Vietnam Diary. He works on the Veterans Treatment Court Mentor and on the Board of Directors of the Vietnam Veterans of America, and is the chairman of incarcerated veterans on a national level. Corporal Yezzo, thanks for being here. Sergeant Anthony Mizzi, United States Army. 1970 through 1975, Sergeant Mizzi served a one-year tour of duty in Vietnam, Cambodia, and in the Tan Ninh Highlands. He was assigned to the 1st Air Cavalry Division. 1st Air Cavalry is a member of the Quick Reaction Force, rescuing fellow soldiers in distress during battle. He's currently a partner in a contracting business and has been in construction for over 41 years. Sergeant Mizzi, thanks for being here. Lieutenant Colonel Andrew Lyons, United States Army. Lieutenant Colonel Lyons was on active duty from 1989 to 1993 and has been in the reserves from 1993 to 2012. Remember what Winston Churchill said, the reservist is twice the citizen. 28 years of service, including many locations in the United States, before going to Fort Humphrey in Korea from 1989 to 1991, and overseas again to Taji and Baghdad, Iraq, in 2004 through 2005. Colonel Lyons is currently an adjunct professor in government and politics at St. John's University. And he's the director of advising support and associate director of the Freshman Center. Colonel Lyons, pleasure to meet you. Gunnery Sergeant John Lovett, United States Marine Corps. (1992 to 2010). Gunny Lovett is extraordinarily humble based on what he submitted for a bio here. I've served with him for a long time at 2nd Battalion, 25th Marines, including service in Iraq, and I'll tell you that he's one of the finest men I've ever met, so if he doesn't want to tell you that, I will. He served 2 tours of duty in Somalia, Kosovo, and 2 tours of duty in Iraq. He's currently the director of online communications at his technology firm. Is active in the Marine Corps League and the VFW. Guns, great seeing you. Lieutenant Colonel John Fitzsimmons, United States Marine Corps. Whom I've also had the privilege of having served with in Iraq and throughout some other time at 2nd Battalion, 25th Marines. Colonel Fitzsimmons has been in the Marine Corps since 1996 and is currently is still involved in the reserves. I'll get to that in a second. He's currently assigned to 3rd Battalion. Oh, he was assigned to 3rd Battalion, 7th Marines as the Scout Sniper Platoon Commander. You can ask us what that means later. You'll be impressed. He was deployed to Kuwait for Operation Native Fury, followed by an assignment to Okinawa, Japan, and was again deployed overseas to Iraq for Operation Iraqi Freedom. He's currently the executive officer for 4th Intelligence Battalion, as well as a vice president and director of real estate operations for a New York City-based management firm. Colonel Fitz. Sergeant Hadiya Allen, Sergeant First Class. How did we get that typo wrong? That's important. Sergeant First Class. Hadiya Allen, United States Army, 2000 through 2012. She worked in intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance in Kuwait, Qatar, and Iraq. And she currently works at J.P. Morgan Chase as a compliance officer and is a veterans mentor at Queens Criminal Court. And I believe your brother is going to be here as well. You're sitting next to your brother. So thanks for being here. Sergeant First Class. I'm Brian. Nice to meet you. The next recognition we're going to make is a posthumous award in honor of Petty Officer 2nd Class John Klett, United States Navy, 1944 through 1946. Petty Officer Klett served aboard the Jack W. Wilk, a destroyer escort ship, which toured between Boston and Puerto Rico and Cuba, protecting the larger destroyers and guarding the eastern seaboard. He retired in 1979 from the New York City Fire Department with the rank of captain. John worked with one of his sons and recently as an attendant at New Hyde Park Memorial Field. John told us that he was proud of the years he spent in his service to his country and as a firefighter. And of course, we were saddened to find out that John passed away shortly after we spoke to him, and we're honored to be able to have his family here tonight so that we may include him as originally planned. Our next award is also for someone who unfortunately can't be here with us tonight, Corporal Pastor Pat Toro, United States Marines, 1967 through 1971. Corporal Toro served a 13-month tour in Southeast Asia and Vietnam. He pursued a career in law enforcement and retired from the Port Authority Police Department in 1991. After retirement, Pat became very involved in the issues that concerned veterans, particularly those of the Vietnam War. He dedicated himself to creating a sanctuary for our nation's war heroes. In 1994, he led his post of the Vietnam Veterans of America to sponsor the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. This was only one of the many important causes that Pat worked on in support of veterans, and he was recognized on many levels for his dedication. Unfortunately, Pat lost his hard-fought battle with leukemia on July 3rd, 2014, at the age of 64. Semper Fi.